Before we get into this video, I will gladly let you know I have no bias in this topic, and the most contact I've had with Kaycreigh is asking for a collab in 2018, where I was promptly left on red. Anyways, let's start this. This video starts with Kaycreigh describing her life, and let's just say it was not going good at the time, but she found a small glimpse of light in the dark tunnel known as life through making Pokemon videos, and she even met some friends through making Pokemon videos, and through cultivating these people, they convinced her at the time to pull up to an event called Pax East, which is kind of like a gaming convention, I think. So she does, and she hangs out with some people where, well, one of these people thought that, she and him were on a date. She thought they were hanging out as friends, so it was not a date, so that's rough, buddy. And, she hangs out with this dude and another dude who we will call the sober roommate. And we'll call this person Dinner Guy. So, Dinner Guy, sober roommate, and Kaycreigh all pull up to a Smash Bros. Party. And the reason why I say it like that is because at Smash Bros. Parties, people drink. And I'm not talking about, Hawaiian Punch and grape juice. I'm talking about alcohol. So, yeah, Kaycreigh starts drinking, she gets a little tipsy, and apparently she was described as being all over some dudes, which pretty much means flirting with them, and, physical contact, touching and shit, pretty much flirting. And apparently these dudes had girlfriends, and these girlfriends were people in the Pokemon community. And, because of that, apparently girls in the Pokemon community don't like her. Now, here is the crucial point for what I just described. Whether this happened or not is ambiguous, because some people describe this as happening. Others say it never happened. So whether it actually happened or not, well, since I was not at Pax East, I can't tell you. But if we ever get a video, then that will tell the true story. Anyways, let's move on to the next day. So she meets up with a group of PokeTubers, and one of them turned out to be a stinking douchebag who apparently the first time meeting asked for her sub count. And apparently this quote was redacted, as this video was apparently changed before I watched it. So once again, this may not be an entirely accurate recalling of the story. Regardless though, her and this dude get to talking, they start shooting the breeze. This dude has a little bit of an ego, if you know what I mean. And, pretty much what's happening here is he is giving her YouTube advice, and they go to lunch. And the dude thought this was a luncheon date. She thought they were just getting lunch. He did not respond to this well, and even during this quote-unquote date, leaned over and told her this was a date. And for my, younger people, that is not how it works. In my mind, here's how I see it. If it's called a date, it's a date. If it's not called a date, you're just hanging out with a person. That is it. Enough said. Anyways, pretty much, her and, this dude, we'll call him Mr. Douche, go to an Elgato party. So, Mr. Douche apparently had access to getting an Elgato pass for this party, and was able to get her one. So, they pull up to the party, and he starts pressuring her to drink. A little bit more than usual. So she breaks away from this guy, understandably so, and makes some new friends. And this turned out to be a massive mistake, as the next day, she got called a clout chaser and a snake. Girl was getting her name raked through the mud. It was not pretty, man. And here is where I'm going to throw my 2 cents about, why that dude might have gotten angry. Now, she's claiming that it is because he, they didn't have the sex, pretty much. So, yeah, this is probably true. As if you pressure someone to drink, you string them along to an exclusive party. 9 times out of 10, the dude is expecting something. And I am not saying that is right. I am just saying that is how some people think. But it also could have been because he blew her off. And now, don't get me wrong, this was understandably so. The dude was forcing her to drink. But I'm just throwing that in there. Regardless, it seems like Kaycreigh did not, the night did not end how the dude thought it would, and he got big mad. I just want to make it clear that I'm not invalidating anything that Kaycreigh said. I'm just trying to provide a slightly different perspective. Anyways, back to the story. So pretty much what this all boils down to is she got blacklisted from the Pokemon community. And I want to know who these people are. If you got the receipts, spill them, please. So pretty much she said there was a lot of hostility between her female PokeTubers and regular PokeTubers, even citing that she had to, work twice as hard to, be able to collab with them. And here's where I'm going to throw in a little bit of perspective. Now, did these rumors probably factor into her not getting as many collabs and or having to work, a little bit harder? Definitely, but at the same time, I will say, if you are a smaller PokeTuber reaching out to a bigger PokeTuber for a collab, you're going to have to work your ass off to prove to them that you're just not using them to siphon the viewers and that you actually want to create a juicy, meaty, delicious piece of content. You have to go through hoops. You gotta, and they also gotta see if the chemistry fits right. So that's pretty much, I'm not trying to invalidate the rumors and saying that, oh, that's not why people, didn't collab with her. That is just me trying to say that was probably an alternate reason. I personally think when it came to that, now I was not in her shoes, but personally to me it seems like when it came to the hostility, it might have been a little bit in her head. Not entirely, but a little bit. It probably just made the interactions a little more hostile. So let me just reiterate this. This is just my opinion, me trying to throw in a different perspective. I'm not invalidating what she is saying. Alright, so if you thought it gets worse, don't worry. It gets fucking worse. Trust me, this is just the beginning. So let's hop to next year. Kaycreigh is attending another PAX. Personally, I don't see the logic, but you know what? I'm just gonna cut it off right there. So, pretty much, a friend of, Mr. Douche comes up to her and, acts all chummy and shit, pretty much saying we should connect. And, so she decides to hang out with this friend group because she wanted them to like her. And I just don't think this is gonna end well, and my hypothesis was eventually being proven correct. So, eventually they invite her to this hotel party, which is not a good sign. She asks if she could bring a male friend. She can't. That's not a good sign. They invite her to do Jaeger bombs. And if you don't know, Jaeger is a strong alcohol. And she does one. She, gets blackout drunk. And apparently before she got drunk, these people told her, this is a red flag. If you ever hear this, run. They told her if you get sick, there will be a bed for you to lie down on. Jesus fuck, that is just astronomically terrifying to hear, and I don't think I'll ever have to face this situation in my life. So yeah, I really do feel bad for her here. And eventually she did get blackout drunk and woke up to a guy spooning her. And she's not accusing this person of sexual assault because she doesn't really know what happened that night, but I'm gonna keep it $150 with you all. In these type of situations, especially given from what we know before, let's just say that night probably wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. I'm not saying anything happened, but the odds of it having a positive outcome are slim to none, pretty much. And yeah, we'll call this person who she woke up spooning with Mr. Spoon. So Kaycreigh attends another party. Mr. Spoon gets a little bit sicky. Her good person instincts kick in. She checks up on Mr. Spoon. Mr. Spoon pulls her in, so she is on his lap. And thankfully, a male friend was able to break away from her. Safe to say, PAX for that year seemed like an awful year for Kaycreigh in general. So, here's where I'm going to discuss some things in the video. My real breakdown. She says some stuff she should not have said. So, she sprinkled in... Alright, so she said to not go after and find out who these people are. But, she sprinkled in so much information to where you can narrow down who those people were. And I'm going to cut this off right here because that is going to be addressed in next week's video. So pretty much just to end with the last story, which I personally disagreed with the whole angle. So pretty much she made a tweet about the same dudes collabing, trying to be funny, and Mr. Spoon and his friend group kind of, you know, bombarded her. I don't agree with that part. You know, obviously, social media harassment is, in my opinion, no laughing matter. But regardless of that, here's what I will say. When it comes to this idea of the same people collabing over and over again, I would like to compare it to a recurring guest star on a TV show. It's like if you watch Friends and you see Janice pop up, you're like, oh shit! You know, it's like that recognition that just, you know, gets like a little dose of adrenaline, knowing, you know, granted that you like the character, that what's going to ensue will be good. Now, I will say, I really do think a lot of YouTubers should try and collab out more with people. I've tried to collab with a lot of poke YouTubers, but a lot of them pretty much just say, I don't like collabing with people. Personally, I'm not a fan of that stance. But once again, I get why you collab with the same people. I understand that. But at the same time, I would like to say, I absolutely do understand and think more diversity in your PokeTuber guest star roster list is drastically needed. So yeah, this is just part 1 of this video, and the last thing I want to break down is, for those who can't really empathize with Kaycreigh getting blacklisted, and you know, a few people are, you know, mainly her haters are probably a little bit like, oh, boo-hoo, this and that. Let me break it down for you. We're going to compare Kaycreigh to Green Typhlosion, and here's the big outlier between these two YouTubers. They're seen not in the most pleasant light by people in the community. They're brushed off by the community. And you could even say the community isn't too fond of them. And in general, both are rooted to fail. I mean, look at the comments on my goddamn MJ TV video. Anyways, here's the difference. With me, I'm cool with what's coming to me. And the simple reason is because I know what I'm doing. I know the videos I put out. I choose my actions. I choose what I say. I am 100% responsible for the perception of Green Typhlosion. However, Kaycreigh is not responsible. Just because one dude got mad and a couple of rumors got spread around, that is why people see her negatively. And that is utterly disgusting. And without any proof to back it up, it just comes down to whether you like her or you don't, to how you feel about her in the community, which really does suck. She did not have control in molding her channel identity, which is one of the most essential things when becoming a YouTuber. Your persona, your identity as a YouTuber is essentially who you choose to put on camera every day, and she was robbed of that opportunity, which frankly is terrible. So in conclusion, I really do feel bad for Kaycreigh, and this genuinely sucks. She has gone through some tough shit, and honestly, for her and people in her situation, I'm keeping them in my thoughts and prayers. And Kaycreigh, if you happen to ever stumble upon this video, I truly want to say that, you know, I really would like to hope and say that not everyone is like this, and I am sorry that you had to encounter those who were like this. So next time we will be discussing the problematic implications set by this video and someone who allegedly got falsely slandered based on this video. But that is pretty much it. We will be covering this next week, but if you want me to cover any other situation on the Pokemon community, let me know down below. If you want to stay updated, make sure to subscribe, and that's pretty much it. Have a good day.